Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Pulp Crazy. I'm your host, Jason Aiken. In this week's episode, I will be discussing Tarzan and the Gods of Opar, Part 3, written and illustrated by Mike Grell. This is the third and final installment of Tarzan and the Gods of Opar. It appeared a few weeks back in Dark Horse Presents number 10. Once again, Mike Grell delivers 8 wonderful pages of Tarzan. I really wish Dark Horse would make Tarzan a fixture in the pages of Dark Horse Presents, and have Grell illustrate 8 pages a month. This was a great story, and I think Dark Horse really needs to make better use of the Tarzan character, in my opinion. Tarzan and the Gods of Opar, Part 3, opens with us checking in on Miss Parker. She's once again visiting the District Commissioner, Granger, and is inquiring about an update on the search for Sir Richard, Kincaid, and Wilson. The Commissioner tells her that the search for the men and their hot air balloon has been called off. Commissioner Granger tells her that he can arrange transport to Mombasa for her, and from there she can book passage back to England. Miss Parker tells him she doesn't have any money for that, and leaves. The Commissioner assures her something will turn up. She says something always does. Apparently Sir Richard did not provide for her in the way of money. She says a line that is very telling about what type of a person Sir Richard Kincaid really is. We return back to Opar, with Tarzan recovering from Kincaid knocking him out from behind with a scepter, at the conclusion of Chapter 2. Law visits him while he's tied up. She gives him one final chance to choose her as his mate, and stay in Opar with her. But again, Tarzan refuses, telling her his heart belongs to another. Law tells him she will be content with Kincaid then, and she tells Tarzan that he will be sacrificed on the altar of the flaming god. Kincaid and Wilson had the natives load up their balloon with plenty of gold, and are about to leave. But Kincaid vows to return for the rest of the treasure. While he's doing this, Una, the young Oparian who Tarzan saved from a panther in the last chapter, slips him a knife to cut his bonds with. Before the two take off, Tarzan clues Wilson in on what Kincaid has in store for him. With the added weight of the gold, Kincaid considers Wilson dead weight and tries to shoot him with a rifle. Wilson grabs the barrel and takes the gun off Kincaid. Wilson knocks him out of the balloon with the stock of the rifle. Kincaid lands on the steps out cold, and he's bleeding. By this time, Tarzan's restraints are no more. He attacks the men of Opar and grabs a satchel off of Kincaid. Tarzan climbs up a tree and pulls out the flare gun from Kincaid's satchel. By this time, Wilson is in the air in the hot air balloon, and Tarzan grabs the flare gun and shoots it into the air, hitting the hot air balloon, igniting the hydrogen, and the balloon explodes, with Wilson still in it. Tarzan turns around and sees Kincaid. Kincaid is pleading for Tarzan to help him, but Tarzan swings away from Opar and leaves Kincaid to his fate. Law and the men of Opar know that he's a false god now, as he bled when Wilson struck him. The final page shows Miss Parker receiving Kincaid's satchel. Tarzan wrote on the inside flap for her to go home. He also included a large heart-shaped red jewel to secure her passage back to England. Law is shown on the bottom of this same page, having just sacrificed Kincaid to the flaming god. His heart is in her hand, but his heart's covered up by the heart-shaped jewel. It's an amazing image, and I included it on this week's title card. What a great ending to a fast-paced and enjoyable Tarzan tale. I really do hope Dark Horse starts using Tarzan more. If this particular story comes out in a 24-page single-issue collection, I'll definitely be buying that too to support it. Now, if all of this Opar action has you jonesing for more, definitely check out the last few episodes I've done with Christopher Paul Carey. We talk about Philip Jose Farmer's Ancient Opar, or Kokarsa series, and 2 new releases that are coming out from Meteor House. Flight to Opar, the definitive edition with restored text by Philip Jose Farmer and edited by Christopher Paul Carey, as well as Volume 4 of the Kokarsa series, an all-new novella, Hedon, King of Opar, by Christopher Paul Carey. I'll put a link to each book in the show notes. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Pulp Crazy is located at pulpcrazy.com. I'm at Pulp Crazy on Twitter and facebook.com/pulpcrazy. My YouTube channel is located at youtube.com/pulpcast. You can also email me at pulpcrazy@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.